farm is the basis of civilization. It's the basis of food. It's the basis of security. And then Alaigbo Bani, I'm happy. I say, oh, in Arachane, our room, I have all Alani the Deba. The food and the Awari, Agiko. China, no way back. Wokula wine, oh my kind. I import tomato from anywhere. I import onion from anywhere. I import cassava from anywhere. I import yam from anywhere. Can produce all we need and export to the world. So go with the dream of Alaigbo Development Foundation. That's where we want to start. We moved away from all the theoretical things. So we have master problem.
And you're welcome back again on Matters Horizon tonight, 15th of January 2025. And we are looking at Ohaneze and Igbo's failure or whatever that happened in Ohaneze during the election. Then going forward with the tragedy of Ohaneze and Igbo, Alaigbo Development Foundation has positioned itself to lead Igbo nation's re-emancipation, void of any political and religious manipulation. We are going to be looking at the ideology and the vision driving Alaigbo Development Foundation, whose president is our guest speaker tonight. Let us quickly have a moment for what I will call Igbo national anthem, but that is ADF's anthem. Let's take it, and when we come back, we will start immediately to bring in our guest.
farm is the basis of civilization, it's the basis of food, it's the basis of security. And then Alaigbo Bani, I'm happy. I say, oh, in Arachoni, Ogre Megane, our room I have all Alani the Deba. The Fulani Bia were Agiko. So I now want to back. Wokula wine, oh my kind. I import tomato from anywhere. I import onion from anywhere. I import cassava from anywhere. I import yam from anywhere. We can produce all we need and export to the world. So go with the dream of Alaigbo Development Foundation. That's where we want to start. We moved away from all the theoretical things. So we have a problem. But now is the time to march forward practically. Beginning with the most pressing problem of our people, which is food security. Food security. It's a shame that apple gets Shinubunabia, a shame that tomato gets Shinubunabia, a shame that yam gets Shinubunabia. It is a shame. That will not happen. We believe in the next 1 year, ADF will move the Igbo nation, will cut food importation by 50%. Within 2 years, there will be nobody importing food in Alaigbo. That is our dream. We just want to start with this miniature base here. Before long, it will envelop Alaigbo. All right. Chile, that is our dream.
Okay. As you can see, talking about the agricultural revolution in Igbo land. Like I promised you, this is just the beginning. I'm just bringing to you one after the other what is already on ground. Welcome back. This is still VVI Channel 1 and we are still on Matters Horizon. Tonight we are looking at ADF as an alternative for the reawakeness and the re-emancipation of Igbo. And joining me virtually is the president of Alaigbo Development Foundation. He is joining me virtually tonight to deliberate on this. It's my pleasure to bring on our brother, Nze Coleman Chukwu Deluzu. Sir, good evening and welcome to Matters Horizon tonight. You can unmute him quickly. You can unmute his mic so that we can hear him. Go ahead. Good evening.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening for having me. Thank you, Chineke. Thank you very much.
All right, Nze Coleman, let us begin with, I think your election was held last year, that of ADF. And
that's correct.
You took over from the president and Professor Emeritus, Professor Ozodin Manwala, as the president of Alaigbo Development Foundation. Tell us how it went.
Well, thank you very much again. Thank you also. Well, it was sometime last year when the ADF had their 10 years anniversary. And period to the 10 years anniversary of ADF struggle, they had an election. And in the election, I contested with a few others, and I won the election as the president of ADF. So I was, we were sworn in Umuahia, precisely at Okpara Auditorium on I think on the 13th of July, 2024. That was actually what happened.
Okay, and now let us focus on ADF, because throughout yesterday,
Okay.
as we had our program, a lot of people are downcasted and looking as if all hope is lost for Igbo social-cultural nationhood bounce back alive, as it were, even before the war. So what is ADF bringing to the table from Igbo?
Well, ADF, like it used to be, ADF is trying to bring back the cultural values of Igbo land. Uh, ADF from inception for the past 10 years or so, because ADF was actually formed in 2014 to now, about 10 years ago, ADF has been in forefront of bringing back the cultural values of Alaigbo, which made them put up some literatures about the culture and heritage of Igbo land. And in that place, it is a very lengthy exercise that has been going on to rebuild and develop Igbo nation. The rebirth and advancement of Igbo nation lies in the spirit of the culture of the organization, the culture of an Igbo man. So this is what ADF has been rebuilding on for the past 10 years. And part of it is to bring back to the table that the Igbo people, the Igbo land should have a hope. There are people that will speak for you. Ohaneze is not, ADF is not a replacement of Ohaneze. Rather, it is a group of intellectuals that will bring back the cultural values of Alaigbo and rebuild the Igbo nation, so that whatever that is happening in the land, in the Igbo nation, it should be controlled, it should be monitored and done by the Igbo people. So that the idea, what is happening now, it's a surprise that the Ohaneze that everybody is looking up to is somehow not living up to the expectation, because it has gone political. It has been hijacked by the politicians. So the real work that Ohaneze is supposed to do or to bring to the table for the Igbo nation is somehow being derailed. So the ADF, as its position for the past 10 years ago, still stands on the way of rebuilding the Igbo nation, bringing back the cultural value, so that when you bring back the cultural value to the land, the Igbo nation, it will begin to showcase what the Igbo nation is known for or what the Igbo nation has been doing. So we are not relenting in the ADF. We are still forging ahead to see how we can make everybody know that there is still a space for Igbo to thrive. There's still a space for the Igbo nation to come on. In spite of what is happening in Ohaneze, and people shouldn't back down. There's still a hope, because there are other cultural Igbo organizations like ADF that are still in forefront, that are still ready to speak for the Igbo nation. So
Okay.
we still have a lot to do, but let me remark, it's not going to be only ADF alone. Everybody, wherever you are, as long as you are an Igbo man, be you in Igbo land or outside Igbo land, you should be able to get involved in rebuilding the Igbo nation.
Okay. I think with that, let us now look at one of the ways ADF is rebuilding Igbo nation through agriculture, because I was there when Professor Ozodin Mawala kicked off an agricultural revolution program in Imo State some years back.
Yes,
and I didn't be say precisely. I was there. The yam ban, the animal husbandry, the other agricultural activities, which we believe that if Ndibu can embrace agriculture, most of our unused land will be used for agricultural purposes, and with the fertile soil and the wonderful environment we have, we may not even have the cases or the issue of Fulani herdsmen ravaging or taking over portions of land and the rest of them. And the help of the government of the East being intentional in supporting this ideology. Now, where is ADF at the moment with respect to that agricultural revolution stride?
Yes, like you said, the remarks, some 12 years ago, or precisely about 10, 12 years ago, the ADF launched Akurolo program. The Akurolo agricultural program intends, they acquired a land in Mbise. They had some they were supposed to acquire in Enugu State, in all the 5 eastern states that comprises the major Igbo nation. But unfortunately, some of these land, apart from the one in Mbise, most of the other ones acquired were either thwarted by some people who are not either being that they are not being their interest was not covered, who have personal interest, and then they thwarted this agricultural program. But the one in Mbise is still going on, but not at the pace it's supposed to be. Because, like you rightly said, this agricultural program that the ADF proposed and started, if it has gone into what it is, by now the issue of food program won't be a problem in the Igbo nation. Because the good thing is that we have a fertile land. We have we needed is to get people to manage it, get people to get involved in the agricultural system, and then we'll be thinking of how to export food from Igbo land. But the issue of getting quick reach, getting into political office has made a lot of people forgetting the agriculture that we were known for. So we are still encouraging people. We are planning to go into reacquisition of those parcel of acres of land for agriculture and encourage each locality to get involved. And then we provide the enabling environment, we provide the seedlings and other things so that they can get involved and we start mass producing food. It's only in this way that this agriculture program can get on, and then people will begin to see the reasons for why agriculture is important.
Sponsored by the politicians, by the governors, that is Ohaneze. How is ADF funded? Yeah. And how can people be part of ADF? Because Ohaneze, both the way they were formed, the way the organizations participate in Ohaneze and Igbo, individuals participate in Ohaneze and Igbo, or how they have even their candidates emerge, or leaders emerge, or delegates emerge. Nobody knows. It's shredded in confusion and in secrecy. All this while, let it be clear how and what ADF is doing. That is quite different, so that people's confidence can be restored through ADF.
Well, thank you. The ADF is not being run by political class. The ADF is run by those who has the Igbo nation at heart. It is devoid of anybody from the East that has the Igbo nation at heart, that has the development of and security of the Igbo land at heart. So it's being funded by spirited individuals from across the Igbo land who likes the developmental stride of the programs of ADF. So it's not the issue of money bags taking over ADF. It's not the issue of politicians taking over ADF. No. ADF is a different organization that is ready to stand in for Igbo, stand in for the Igbo nation, and be able to do a showcase what Igbo nation needs, the developmental strides, the programs that will enhance the Igbo nation. That is what they stand for. We do not, in ADF, we do not entertain political activities that will disintegrate or that will come into ADF to spoil the mission of ADF. So it's being guided, it's not being sponsored by politicians or the money bags. It's being sponsored by Spirited is a collective sponsorship where anybody, no matter how big and how small you are, you put in your mind, knowing that when you contribute to do a particular thing, you should be interested in seeing that it comes out well. But if you are coming out to look for somebody else to bring you money, it means that you are looking for money to eat. So in ADF, it's self-sponsored by the members of ADF. And we encourage every spirited Igbo man, every spirited Igbo sons and daughters to get involved in the ADF, to go into the ADF website and see how you can become a member of ADF and contribute your quota towards developing the Igbo nation.
All right. Okay, that's fantastic. And I believe people who are watching, you are hearing and understanding what we are discussing this evening. And if you want to ask questions, if you want to be part of this program to make your contribution, even from the program we had yesterday, you can also call the numbers on the screen so that you can make your submission. We can also take your comments from the comment section. And don't forget, we are streaming this program live on all our social media platforms, on our YouTube channels, our backup channel, BVI channel 1 plus, and also our Facebook platform. We also have our Instagram. Every one of them, we are streaming live there. You can join us through those platforms and drop your comments. We will take them as we continue on this program tonight. Okay, we are still on the matters arising ADF as an alternative to Ohaneze and Igbo. Now, people would like to know, sir, regarding Ohaneze, not Ohaneze, ADF particularly, do they have the capacity to galvanize Igbo interest? And if you say that ADF is not interested in the political activities of Igbo land, does it mean that they don't support any candidate, or they are not into political activity, or not interested in political interests of Igbo, or just basically socio-cultural or economic? Let's get the areas the ADF is spreading their tentacles with respect to the interests of Igbo.
Yes, the political aspect. ADF is not a political party. ADF is apolitical. ADF is interested in good governance. ADF is interested in making the Igbo nation a great nation of which it's supposed to be. ADF is interested in justice. Like the ADF Green Book, if you have a copy of the ADF, or you can lay hand on top copy of the Green Book written by ADF, you will see outline what ADF is meant for. That is, ADF is where equity and justice and fair play is guaranteed. If you go through the Green Book, you understand what ADF stands for. Yes, when ADF, if you're a politician and you stand for the mission, the statement, ADF statement in Green Book, ADF will basically support your political ambition, because it's going to be for the betterment of the masses. It's going to be for justice. It's not an injustice. So, if in political stand, ADF has a role to play when it comes to what will benefit the generality of the Igbo nation. So it's not as if we are not, ADF is not interested in politics, but not partisan politics. Not partisan politics is when they play here.
Okay. Now to the economic.
So I will, yes.
Yeah. Now to the economic aspect, we've talked
Go ahead.
about. We've talked about the agricultural activities. What about the cultural? People are looking and hoping that one day Igbo will have one cultural meeting point for Igbo, and some have suggested New Yam Festival for Igbo. That's one day New Yam Festival for Igbo, where all Igbo people can celebrate their New Yam Festival in a particular date. Then other communities can continue in other subsequent dates. What's your position on that?
You see, this has been the culture. If you go back, date back those days, if you have gone through the things fall apart, you will understand what we're talking about. If you have gone through Chinachebe's books, you will see that the culture of an Igbo man remains one before. But because of some people who are interested in making money for themselves using the Igbo nation or using the Igbo culture, they've now splitted all these cultures. You can imagine in every, normally before you have October, and the 12th of October as during the year you perform the New Yam Festival, when you do New Yam harvest. Every culture, every Igbo state nation, every Igbo state or whichever zone they are, observe this New Yam Festival. But you can see now people will start people can start to do New Yam Festival in January. They will do New Yam Festival in August. Just to reap because they are looking for how to make money out of it. So this is part of the program the ADF is trying to bring back. That people should go back to their culture. And when you go back to the culture of the Igbo land, you will see that most things that are happening now will be happening. For instance, it is a taboo for you in Igbo land to kill your brother. It is a taboo for you to commit some certain crime. And when you do what you call, you do an abstinence. You leave your town for some time to be able to appease the gods of the land. But you can see now most of these things are not being looked at because history of the Igbo, the culture of the Igbo are even going into extinction because some of these children who were born now does not know what is today of the ancestors. There are festivals you do before you start planting season. A lot of people does not know. So these are the cultural values, cultural things that they do in Igbo land. That ADF is have a program of trying to revive them and trying to make sure that within this year 2025, we'll be able to organize a global New Yam Festival for the Igbo land. So once it is done, you know that the New Yam Festival has been done, and then people can, go back to their farm and begin to harvest and begin to celebrate. But it's not going to be you do one do today, the one do the other day. It's something that we need to generalize so that once it is done, it will becomes a festival day for New Yam for the Igbo nation. So that the young people can now begin to ask questions and get answers to why it is being done and why it should be done at such and such time. So there are so much things that need to be done, and I bet you the capacity, the ADF, the people in ADF has the capacity to do it. The only problem that ADF seems to be having is because the money bags here and there are trying to disrupt what the program is for their personal gain. And when you are trying to do something that will benefit the generality of the people, those who have personal interest will go every out to make sure that they try to downplay it so that you don't get to where you are going. But no matter how slow we are going, we will get to where we are going. That is what I believe in ADF.
Exactly.
The cultural values will come back to the Igbo nation.
All right, because that's where I'm headed to at the moment, the challenges of ADF. Because when we're talking about some of all these things, the vision, the mission, the ADF Green Book, which I've seen, wonderful piece of a vision, working tool that will energize and reposition Igbo land for greatness. All of that will not be able to come true without some level of struggle and obstacle. So you've just mentioned some of them. If that is all, we would like to know the challenges of ADF at the moment to achieve its mandate from the Igbo.
Yes, the challenges we have is basically these challenges is coming from the money bags. ADF is not a money bag organization. Like I told you before, the ADF is funded by individuals who donate make donations and subventions to ADF to carry out programs. And because it is like that, that is why the slow pace at which ADF is going it seems to happen. But what we are hoping and planning on is that once we can get somebody who has the spirit of ADF, the spirit of developing the Igbo nation, gets into government resources can be channeled into what it's supposed to be. And when it gets there, everybody will begin to see how it is working. And then you will begin to see that people who have personal interest will have no other way than to join the what will benefit the masses. So one of the challenges is funding. But like I say, we don't want to get into funding and get to a wrong hand so that they'll now hijack the area. Because if you get into a wrong hand because you are looking for funds and you get funded, you may be directed to do what you don't want to do. So that is why ADF has been slow and steady, but they are focused on what their mission is, believing that once majority of the money bags in Igbo land understands why ADF should what they are propagating as their mission and digest this green book, it will help us more so that a lot of people can now bring in funds so that we can run the ADF as supposed to be and upgrade the Igbo nation, and then we can get what we are looking at. So in the conclusion, this funding, I implore that most people should look out. We have this green book almost everywhere out there. If you can source it through our office at Ohaneze district, fine. Or you can talk to ADF officials and get this book publicized. When people read it and digest it, they should be able to understand how intact this piece of document is and how it can help us develop the Igbo nation and get to where we want to be.
All right. Okay, that's very fantastic. And I know Ndubisi, I don't know if he's there for him to join us. He'll be joining us virtually if he's available. And to those who are watching, you are still on Matters Horizon. If you have any question or anything to say, he'll be here to respond to that. We have Ndino Channels. Thank you for joining. Nna Johnson, he said, Ohaneze and Igbo are not serious because the Ohaneze are part of the problem of Igbo land. Ohaneze are not united people. Or Ohaneze are not united. Okay, they are not united in Igbo. That's what he wants to say. Together. All right. Now you've heard what this guy just said. President of ADF that is here. Do you agree, or do you think that ADF are disappointed, or Ohaneze are disappointed in the Igbo in uniting Igbos together, bonding Igbos together? And do you think that ADF has the capacity to unite in Igbo, and in what way? Because Igbo unity seems to become a mirage. There is no Igbo organization. There is no Igbo organization that has no splitter units or factions. Why is that? And how can ADF address it?
Well, you see, the splitter units you talk about is just people who has personal interests, or people who wants to remain perpetually in power because of the gains they think they get. The splitter, what is happening in Ohaneze, for instance, is just a few people are trying to, trying to see how they can swindle or manage, control the Ohaneze. If the people in Ohaneze who are the main Ohaneze people decides to stand firm with their two legs, it will be difficult for people to come and micromanage you. But because of sometimes I relate it to poverty of the mind, not poverty in terms of cash. Because if you money does not do everything. If you have poverty of the mind, it will go a long way in killing all the things you think you want to do, because you will be your the way you look at things will be short sighted. So I think that one, ADF has the capacity, because the level of people in ADF are not, they are not interested in your money. Neither are they interested in sticking themselves to a particular position. What they are interested and what makes them happy is to see that the Igbo people get to understand why we should be united as one. And I can tell you for sure that part of this problem we have in most Igbo organizations or Igbo unions are being caused by people who are basically afraid that the unity of Igbo people will become something else that they can't control. So they, instead of allowing the Igbos to get united and get focused to do one thing or the other that is good for the Igbo nation, it is better to begin to put stops, to begin to put so many obstacles, so that people who likes money can, out of because of money, begin to sell off whatever that will benefit their brother, and then have it only for themselves. So the issue is people who are just a very few number of people trying to put in trouble in between where the Igbos are trying to unite. They make sure they want to destabilize it. So what ADF is preaching is that Igbo people, wherever you are, should look at the unity first, being one together, not using your brother or matching on somebody to get something on personal interest. No. So we are asking, making sure that people understand the reason why we should be united, which will be for the benefit of all of us. And once this message gets across to every look and crannies of the Igbo nation, wherever they may be, and see your brother as one, and then if there is anything your brother does and you have a better idea, you'll be able to bring it on board, so that whoever that has a better idea should carry on, and then we'll go ahead with it. But if we keep on listening to those who want to destabilize us, it means that the unity of Igbo land will be a little difficult to achieve. That is why in ADL we continue to educate people, continue to talk to people about the reason why we should be united, the reason why you should focus back to the Igbo land, to see that once you can have one or two investment in Igbo land, you become interested in coming back home. You become interested in what is happening in your area. But if you don't, you'll find it difficult to remember that this is your home. So as we continue to ask people to come back home, look back inwards, come back to your brothers, so that we can unite together and make sure that we forge ahead to make Igbo land what it's supposed to be.
All right. Now, you've mentioned that, and you've also mentioned it earlier about good governance. You also mentioned Akununo. And you know that this cannot happen if the condition of the Igbo land is not conducive. Currently in Igbo land, in recent years, just in recent past up to today, there is increased tension or insecurity across Igbo land, particularly the 5 eastern states. Does that concern you? Does that give you a great concern? And how will you assess and measure up good governance among Igbo governors?
Well, at this point, we are not measuring who and who is. We are still, it's still too early to begin to measure who is doing well and who is not doing well for now in the Igbo state. But the problem, the thing we are looking at is, if you make the environment, if we're asking those who are in government to create a neighborhood environment so that people who are outside, Igbo sons and daughters who has developed outside land, can come back home. If they have the courage that the environment is conducive for them to come and develop and invest in Igbo land, these things will be a thing that will work out well. But if you don't create environment that is conducive and you're scaring people away, that is where what we're talking about good governance. You want governance, we want people who are in government that will be able to look at it and say that what is the problem of insecurity is in the Igbo land. What do we do? If you allow people who has the intellectual about security to come in and open-heartedly work with you, they should be able to prefer solutions. You don't, in what is happening, there's insecurity almost all over. There's problem security almost everywhere in the world. There's no way you don't have problem with security. But the thing is that it is a thing that can be managed. But you must manage it from the point of reality, from the point of truth. People sometimes escalate some certain security issues, creating panic in some people who would have ordinarily come back to invest. For instance, there are thousands of and one of Igbo people who has companies both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. The question is, why wouldn't they come back to invest? We have the land, we have the manpower. If you need labor, there's labor in the Igbo land. Why don't they come back here? It's because the people in governance are not encouraging them. They are not making the place conducive. So the ADF is carrying out a message to people that if the government does not do it, what do? We should be able to come back home, be able to arrange, take care of our place, and be able to make sure that whatever we have, we can be able to secure it. We'll be able to fashion out how we can live and live comfortably. But if we keep running away, and every time they do one thing, they scare you away, you run away, you go and build your company in Indonesia, or you go to one African zone and build your company, the Igbo land will remain as it is. But I am happy that very many of the Igbo people, sons and daughters who are in business, have understood that no matter how you are, you must think back home. And once this idea of thinking back home becomes fully integrated into our plans, you will see that things will begin to happen, industries will begin to come back to Igbo land, people will begin to come, you begin to secure your place and secure your land. Because there is nobody, no intruder that can come into your land and know it better than you know yourself. It is not possible. In your house, for instance, a visitor cannot come into your house and know all the intricacies in your house more than you do. It's only when you allow it or you keep quiet, it will look as if you don't know. There is no place in Igbo land that a foreigner will know better than an Igbo people who were grown there, who left there for search of greener pastures outside their land, and now to come back it becomes a problem. People will be creating, creating some atmosphere of it is so bad like this. It's, to me, because I'm on the ground here, I know that yes, there is insecurity, but it is not out of proportion. It can be managed. What we just need to do is to put us together sincerely and then call a spade and do the needful, and things will begin to fall in place.
I agree with you. Honestly, I agree with you totally. And it has been a pleasure having this media chat with you. We hope that people will start connecting more with ADF. Connecting more with ADF, how do they do that? Some people will be asking and wondering, if I want to be part of ADF, how do I join? Unlike what we heard about Ohaneze and Igbo, when we asked about that, we were told that people don't join individually to be a member of Ohaneze and Igbo, and that it is organizations that join to become members of Ohaneze and Igbo. Does that apply in ADF?
No, it doesn't. In two words, we have athletes unions who are of Igbo status, who are from Igbo origin. We have athletes organizations, and then as individual, you can join ADF. What you just need to do is to get across to the our admin secretary or get across to us through our website, our telephone numbers in there, and then you'll be told how you can join and fill your form online and become a member of ADF. And then there are categories in ADF. That one will be explained by the admin secretary once those who are interested. But for the organizations like there are some organizations in the diaspora overseas that are we have they are affiliates to Alaigbo the William Foundation because we have the same ideology. We have they feel they have the kind of interest we have in the development of Igbo nation. So, in that aspect, we work together with them. When in terms of World Igbo Congress, we have a partnership with World Igbo Congress because they have the same feeling we do as development of the Igbo nation. So, and so many others like that. So, it's not an audition that you need to go and become listen before you join. No, as an individual, you can become a member of ADF and follow suit and bring on your whatever you have on the table for ADF, and then we discuss and then have issues tackled and then try to project it to work for our mission.
All right. Thinking to BC have joined us. We are bringing him on to elaborate so that he's going to bring his own thoughts about the entire discussion tonight. Hello, DBC. Good evening. You're welcome to Matters Horizon today. As you know, we have the president of ADF joining us virtually this evening. So, what is your thought? We've been talking about so briefly because we'll be soon wrapping up on the program tonight.
Hello, Chinedu. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening to you. And good evening to Mr. Koma. British.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you, Mr. Good evening. You're welcome.
We want prosperity. We want a secured homeland. That is what an average Igbo man desires. So whoever is offering that wins the heart and support of the people. Chinedu, are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you. I can hear you. Go on.
I said whoever can provide that wins the support of the people. ADF, our president is here with us. I'm the national public secretary of the ADF. So I have been following the ADF event for the past 8 years or thereabouts. So ADF is not in competition with Ohaneze. ADF wants Ohaneze to succeed. And of course, ADF will succeed too. But the whole thing boils down on the people. Because the power of those people in government, like the governors we are mentioning here, I mean the people in government houses, the politicians, are few, very few people. There are not more than 1%. There are not up to 1% of population of Igbo masses, the entire Igbo masses. So the power of the Igbo masses, the people, is greater than those people in government. What everybody is looking out for is solution. Which organization will provide solution? We provide solution. We offer solution. Solution of food security, solution of security, a solution of economic opportunities, that is job creation. solution of cultural freedom and other solutions everywhere. So people are looking out for that. Which organization can inspire us, can encourage us, can show us the way, the pathway to follow? And over the years, people have been looking at NESA as the apex Igbo organization, but that has not been so. So most times, I don't join issue with Ohaneze because Ohaneze as its organization was formed and established by Igbo elites. Though they called it Ohaneze, from the name, it's supposed to be everybody. They're supposed to be campaigning for membership for every Igbo man to join. But over the years, that has not been so. So that to me, I don't join issue with them. I'm only seeing the opportunity being created. That because of inability to do what they're supposed to do, other organizations like ADF comes up. But as you know, it is not easy to convince an average Igbo man. It is not an easy exercise to convince an Igbo man, especially when you do not have food on the table, when you do not have industries that will employ youth, or when you do not have bags of money to be distributed every now and then. It is easy to mobilize the people. But ADF has been doing that through messaging. Consistently, they have been doing it over the years. So my own take to the topic under discussion is that we have to continue. We have to continue by coming out most times to address issues that are bothering Igbo society, like the insecurity we have on ground, like the issue of food security, the issue of economic opportunities. We have to be coming out, you know, projecting what should be done, solution and alternative, and pleading with our brothers in diaspora and over the world. Because if you're able to mobilize and connect with the masses, since the people are the custod are the custod are the owner of the power, if we can't be able to connect with the people, the battle is over. So that is the message I have. And as a matter of fact, this platform that's giving ADF opportunity today, I encourage you, Chinedu, to always be forthcoming, providing the voice for the people, for the ADF and other organizations that are fighting for the collective interest of Ndibu. That is public interest. Thank you.
All right, Ndubisi, before we wrap it up and also have the reaction of the president of ADF, do you think that ADF should be vocal with respect to governance in the Southeast? Governance generally in the Southeast, or just focus on their own group organizational activities? Ndubisi.
Yeah, governance, I mean, good governance is part of ADF's mandate. There is no way you focus on internal. What is the internal activities of ADF if not public interest? So ADF cannot just concentrate on their internal affairs without looking at governance. They should be interested in looking at what is going on in government or governance of the environment. If ADF is in Imo State, they should be able to know what is happening in Imo. Enugu, they should be able to know what is happening in Enugu and the other states, as far as Igbo states or environment is concerned. So to me, it's yes. I know that Mr. President has already responded to that. They are interested in good governance, what goes on within the environment. and proper solution. And again, give our people sense of direction. You know, our people seriously do not even understand what is good governance. Our people don't know what government should do. I'm in the village now. I know people don't even understand what government is all about, or what they do. If they need money, their brother or their sister. Nobody talks about Soludo in Anambra State. That Soludo is supposed to create economic opportunity. That Soludo is supposed to pay elderly people money. That Soludo is supposed to take care of the sick. They don't care about it. They are waiting for our brothers in Obodo Igbo, to send money for them. Nobody thinks about the money that will come out from budget of this year. Nobody knows. Most of them in the villages don't know the budget of Anambra is 500 and something billion naira. That money will be shared among politicians and they just constructing road. We build road. That's all. Nobody knows that government is supposed to take care of the welfare of the people apart from security. So ADF should be frontal, being an intellectual organization, should be there to sensitize and educate the people on good governance. Thank you, Chinedu.
All right, thank you very much, Ndubisi, for that very submission, and I appreciate you. We hope that we join subsequently on this program to continue addressing some of those things. I don't know if the president is still here with us, but if he's not, we appreciate him for joining in the program extensively to this point. We appreciate him, and we believe that all said and done, we are hoping for a better society for Igbo through the leadership of ADF. And on that, I'm wrapping up on today's Matters Rising. With that, I'm saying thank you for watching. For those of you who have joined us from all our social media platforms, thank you for watching this far. We hope to have you back again tomorrow evening on Matters Arising. So on that, we conclude our today's Matters Arising. And I still remain Associated Peters, asking for you who have been watching, please keep subscribing if you've not. Like, share. The content you're dropping here is nothing but the truth, undiluted. And we remain committed for a better society through the advocacy and crusade for good governance. I still remain Associated Peters, the advocate for good governance, saying good night, stay blessed, and stay safe. Bye-bye for now.
Farm is the basis of civilization. It's the basis of food. It's the basis of security. And then Alaigbo, I'm happy. I say, Naira anyị kwesịrị ime import tomato from anywhere. Anyị kwesịrị ime import onion from anywhere. Anyị kwesịrị ime import cassava from anywhere. Anyị kwesịrị ime import yam from anywhere. Can produce all we need and export to the world. So now the dream of Alaigbo Development Foundation. That's where we want to start. We moved away from all the theoretical things. So we have a problem. We have a problem.